changed our theme music? That's what I want to know.
We did not unilaterally change it. It was just me. I mean, it was just me. I just changed it.
Well, yeah,
so
meaning one person decided without consulting anybody. So
I did, and I'm sorry, but just for the record, I have the other one. This was just I'm just trying. This is a special show. We're getting kind of hyped up. We've got some big news tonight, and we have got some big guests on the show. So let's everybody, let's welcome let's welcome Vernon. Light the night. What's going on, Vernon?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
We are doing good, man. We
We're
are so
good.
happy
We're
to have you on the
excited.
show. And Mr. Chain Gang himself down there, Mr. 210, Slinger coming in the house. What's going on, pal?
Well,
Oh man, we're gonna have a good night. We're gonna have a good night, guys, and we're gonna bring you a first. We are gonna bring you some news tonight that is going to knock your socks off. And I know you've been waiting it. We've been promoting the shit out of this, so this is gonna be amazing. So how things have been going, Bobby? How have you been doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just trying to stay warm. I'd really like for it to stop snowing and get the streets clear and warm up a little bit so we can get the slingshot out and start rolling again. But think things doing all right otherwise. Just
good.
Trying to stay warm.
Trying to stay warm. I think we're both trying to stay warm here in Colorado. It's supposed to be like, dude, you're supposed to get down to like -4, -5 over the weekend. And I am not liking this very much at all. I'll be honest with you. I am not digging this at all. I need some of that Texas weather is what I need.
I was just thinking I need to migrate for the winter down to Texas and hang out with you guys.
Hell, it's cold here too.
It ain't -5 cold. I can know that.
It ain't -5 and you ain't got 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah. So what about you, Slinger, man? What's going on? What's been happening with you, man? What's
man, just getting this 210 slingers off the ground, trying to represent them 210 slingers.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. That's what I am talking about, my friend. That is definitely a trophy worth advertising right there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of jealous. I mean, Bobby and I, we're not on y'all's level, man. We just we just do our thing. Well, Bobby is, mine. I'm getting there, but I got a family and I got responsibilities and shit. You know how it is, man. I can't deal with y'all's baller status like that. I can't do it as much as I want to. I can't.
We came down to Houston last April, and we flew down because we didn't have enough time to make the trip with the slings, and so we were just there ourselves without the slingshots. But I gotta tell you, I'm all proud of my slingshot up here in Colorado. But I got down to Houston, I was humbled a bit. I mean, lights and sound like I ain't never seen before. It was an eye opener for sure.
It was an eye opener, and it was great. I had a good time. We always talk about slinging experience and how much of a good time we had. And speaking of them, looks like they announced the new location. They're moving this year, so they got a new location still in Houston. So we'll see how that all works out. What's going on, Dan, Mark? How are y'all? New Jersey Sling, what's going on, man? How are y'all guys doing? Thanks for joining us. We got a lot to talk about, man. We have got a lot to talk about. But first, I wanna address Mr. Slinger himself, because I think it's important to acknowledge, and you talking about trying to get 210 slings off the ground. I think it's important to acknowledge that. I see what you're doing, and you and I have gotten a chance to talk a couple of times. We met in Houston last year, and I just want to say that I think that the work you're doing and bringing everybody together in this sling community is fantastic. I applaud you for that, man, because you just anybody who's ever met this guy, I will tell you, he's a great dude. He is just a great individual. He'll takes time out of your day to talk to you. He answers questions. And I really appreciate everything you're doing with the group, man. So I just want to tell you that.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. It means a lot coming from you, man.
Well, it's just, I saw your sling, man, when we first kind of started. You started, I started getting into the groups, and listen, you're the champion. You'll always be the champion in my heart. I think in a lot of other people's heart, you'll always be the LED champion. And some people got to go a long way to go up against you. No matter what, they got a long road ahead of them. That's all I'm saying. So, and I made some notes. So I made some notes for the show. And one of the things that I made was this is a family affair, man. And what I mean by that is you have begun to bring the 210 community together, but even people outside the 210, you've got a lot of people who roll with you that are not in the 210, people in other states who rep you and rep this group and show up. And I think it's important to see that. I think it's important to see just so Vernon, I will tell you, Vernon, this is the first time we're gonna get to Vernon in just a second, but Vernon, everybody, what you type is in they can't see that, so they just comes to you and me. So just so you know, yeah, that's okay. I just want him to know because I don't want him to type a bunch of stuff and think people are seeing it and not responding. He just can't see it, or everybody else can't see that. So yes, I just want to recognize you, man, because you're a leader. You're a leader in the sling community, and you will always be the champion as far as I'm concerned. So I just want to put that out there, man.
Thank you.
So it's the man of the hour, right? It is the man of the hour. And before we get started, there's something I'd like to say, and that is that as we begin this podcast and we begin talking about Zeus, and this is what it's all about. We're going to tell you all about Zeus. We're going to tell you what it does, what it doesn't do, all that stuff like that. I think it comes a point in everybody's. There comes a point in time where you either have to, as the old phrase says, lead, follow, or get out of the way, right? And so I think we're at a point now where there's some folks who need to either they need to get out of the way because the bus is coming, the freight train is coming, and Light Tonight is about to is about to put down a slap down. It's no other way to put it, man. There really isn't. So this is a prime opportunity. I'm not talking bad about anybody. I'm not going to name anybody particularly. If you think some of these comments tonight pertain to you, then maybe you need to take a second look at what you're doing. But I'm not going to name anybody in particular. Tonight, this is a Light Tonight show. This is a Light Tonight product, and I can promise you wholeheartedly that after you hear all of this, you will agree with me. So let's talk about Zeus. So let's get started, Vernon, and let's talk about what led you to design and inevitably release Zeus.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah,
why don't you let Vernon tell us what it is? You're talking like everybody already knows what it is.
Well, I'm getting to that. I'm telling you.
You're already on the second act of the play here.
No! Look at that. He's giving me shit. Okay, so all right, you know what?
I apologize
I'm just
to Billy, guys. We got to keep him in line. That's really why I'm here, is just to keep him on track.
Keep me in line. So let's talk about. All right, first of all, let's simply put, Zeus is a new controller, right? Zeus is a new LED controller. Those of you who didn't know that, that's what it is. And now I'm going to get back to the question at hand with Vernon is before we go into detail about what it does and what it is, what led you to design this and inevitably release it? I want to hear about that.
Well, actually, what led me to design it was the way LED lights were controlled on a whole. What a lot of people don't understand is we actually started designing this system day one. When we designed the dynamic effects system, Zeus was a part of it. We just been releasing the dynamic effects in stages. If we were trying to release it all at one time, it would have took years for us to get it all out and develop all the pieces. So Zeus was actually one of the final components when we decided we were going to redesign a total light system for slingshots.
Okay. So as many of you know who've been following Light the Night, you know that their dynamics effects kit is kind of like the one-stop shop, I like to call it. It has everything. It has the 8-to-1 splitters, it has the lights, it has switches, it has wire, it has everything that you need where a person can buy these a set of lights and kind of pretty much do the entire bike in a basic form. Is that a pretty fair assessment, Vernon?
That's correct. You can buy a dynamic effects kit. Everything you need to install it comes in the box, from the power pack, the lights, the controllers. Every single piece you need, wheel rings, comes in that one kit.
Okay. So, and that's worked out well for a lot of folks because people don't know, well, do I need to buy this? Do I need to buy that? When they can just buy the Dynamics Effects kit and be done with it, right? And you buy with wheel rings, without wheel rings, have everything you can do. I mean, hell, you can do what Sling has done and buy them all. I mean, that's what you can do, right? You can, you can buy them all.
Just back the semi truck up to Sling's house and dump off all the lights, and he'll take care of the rest.
He just gets it drop ship right to his front door. That's what he does, straight from the factory. So, well, that, and that's really interesting because I've always said that, you have a certain level of, you have your product, which is your light, is what you're selling. But the weak link up until this point has always been the controller, right? Is that you think that's a fair statement, Vernon?
Well, actually, there was a lot of weak links. When we first started, because y'all are kind of spoiled, y'all have our lights. For instance, the first weak link when you bought, say, a chase kit was if you bought clear strips within a matter of weeks or maybe a month or two, the strips would turn yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So actually, we started eliminating a lot of the issues in order. The first thing we wanted to develop was a strip that wouldn't turn yellow. Or if it did turn yellow, it would be years down the line. It wouldn't be something that you spend your money on one way and a few weeks later, it looked totally different. Then we moved on to the actual toggle switch problem. A lot of kits, as you know, when you bought and you had toggle switches to activate them or turn them on, eventually the switches would get hot. So we developed a relay wiring harness, so that way that eliminated the switches getting hot problem. Then we ran into people wanted the strips to be less thin. So the clear strips, we had to darken them and make black strips.
Right.
Then we ran into the once you got so many strips, it's only so much that your phone can handle through Bluetooth.
Right.
You have people like Slinger, he might have 16 Bluetooth units throughout his bike. So we had to develop a product called the Bluetooth Hub, where you could plug all of your 8-to-1 splitters into one hub and then run them all off of one Bluetooth.
So I definitely see that progression, right? I see the progression from the non-chase to chase to dynamic FETs, and then seeing the power harness and the hub, which have been just phenomenal. I know when we got the hub, when Robert and I got the hub, a couple of months ago, I mean, it was a game changer. So instead of looking for, Robert's got 7 controllers, right? So when you're in a group of people, I mean, Bobby, what do you think? I mean, would you say that for the end user is that the biggest frustration that you have?
Oh, by far, yeah. I mean, to be looking at the app and saying, okay, well, I've only got 5. I've only got 5 of my controllers up. Oh, now I'm not down to 4. Okay, now I'm to 6. Wait a minute, I have all 7. Oh, wait, now I'm down to 6 again.
Or RJ pulls up, right? And RJ's got
RJ
7.
pulls up and he's on a Light the Night system also. And then wait a minute, now I've got 9. Where did the other 2 come from?
Right. That's the biggest frustration. And I can't tell you, and I can't tell you, I'm going to actually, I'm just going to tell you this story. I'm going to tell you something. And it's not bad, but it's just what it is. Right. So Robert and I, we did first year at Colorado Springs. So we went to Sling Fest down in Colorado Springs, and so, they had a light show, a light competition, and they had a sound competition, and so the light competition was was interesting. I'll just leave it like that. It was an interesting competition. And so I went to, and I don't mind saying it because I went to Nut House because Nut House was he was there as a demo bike, and he was doing part of the judge. And then I was like, hey, look, dude, we cannot have this. We cannot, in order to get a good, an accurate representation of what the lights are, we had 30 bikes within, a 10 square foot, 30 square foot radius here. We can't be doing this. We're stepping all over everybody. And his response was, take it up with Vernon, take it up with your boy. And because he says he has the same problem that we have, right? And so it was very frustrating. And so we've been asking Vernon for a solution for quite some time. And I think
here's where Billy takes credit for some of the innovations that are coming about.
We designed it based on his request.
Hey, let me tell you something. You're goddamn right you did. Because I'm like the squeaky wheel that never gets oiled, damn it. I'm like you.
You have no idea how truthful that is.
I am the squeaky wheel. They say the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Hell no, squeaky wheel gets kicked out. That's what a squeaky wheel does.
The squeaky wheel gets replaced.
That's exactly what happens, right? So we've all run into, Slinger, you've run into the same issues. I'm sure that we had sometimes, even with the hubs. Now, the hub was great because you could take 8 of your controllers, or you could pare down the number of splitters and Bluetooth modules that you had to only look for several. Now, I ain't going to give away any secrets that you have, but you have a lot. You have a lot of hubs, you have a lot of controllers, obviously based on the number of lights. And I'm sure that you ran across that same issue. Did you not?
Yeah, I ran across the same issue. It depends how close the bike is to you, or if like my secret is I use an older phone, so I don't get all the updates like everybody else gets.
Right.
Okay.
My phone is the 04 Note. That's my secret.
Oh,
so Sling, are you saying if I go out and get a flip phone, that's going to solve all my problems?
Yeah. It might, man.
I don't need Zeus. I just need a 1994 motor.
Dude, he's gonna look. Bob's gonna run down a Radio Shack, pick him up a bag phone. It'll be good. That's what he's gonna do. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I've been lucky with the older phone I use. I really don't pick up other people's boxes. I don't get all the updates, the app gives.
Sure.
So I don't have to go in and reconfigure my colors and do all that stuff that you got to do once the app updates.
Sure. But to Vernon's, but to his credit, that's not part of that. That's out of his control, because up until now, he wasn't the designer of the app, right? You didn't design that app. You didn't push those updates, right?
No.
Billy,
the phones.
Vernon tell us what he's done.
Quit getting to that. Shut up.
Quit tipping the reveal. Let Vernon do the reveal.
Listen to me. I have an outline over here, and I'm going to stick to it. Vernon has reviewed this outline.
Involve letting Vernon do his own talking. Does your outline involve that?
It does not. Fine. You know what? So we're not discussing the specifics of Zeus because we have other things to get to first. We just hang in there. Bear with me. So the next question that I had, Vernon, and this is comical. This really is. So let's talk about. We kind of got off track a little bit. Well, let's talk about companies. There are some companies who have released, several companies actually, who have released some black strips of their own, some dark strips, and various LED lights, right? That not just the black strips. What do you have to say to those companies? Because I think that's important.
If it took a company 3 years to try to figure out what we've been doing, and you're buying from that company, then you're always going to be at least 3 or 4 years behind. The black strips are something that we've had out for a while. Now, as far as companies that are willing to copy another person's idea and another person's product, then that's the moral compass. The moral compass, that is in the dirt. Um, if you're going to copy another person's product and then you support them by buying the product, imagine when you have to go back to that company with a problem, the type of person that you're going to be dealing with. Most people know when you come to Light Tonight, you get a fair deal all the way around because that's where my moral compass sits. But when there's a person that's willing to sit out there and steal another person's idea or some fraction of it and try to pass it off as their own or try to compete against me with my own product, and that tells you where that person's moral compass is. So hey, more power to them.
More power to them, and then in the end, lessons learned, right? And you've had some expensive lessons, I'm sure, along the way, and I think that's probably good advice to those people, and to expand on that, I understand, and I legitimately don't know who. This is not I'm not trying to skirt around this at all. I legitimately don't know who, but what we do know is that there are an individual or a company out there who has reached out to some of your people, some of your manufacturing people, right, Vernon, and they've attempted to reverse engineer some of your stuff. What do you say about that?
Yeah, there's actually companies that take my stuff and send them overseas, and they end up at the place where my engineers work. So people are actually sending stuff back overseas to me to copy my own stuff. Once again, hey, if you're going to be in the LED market, be creative, create your own stuff. Like tonight, it took us years to make most of the products that we have. Now individuals are copying products, not just mine. You got Zerati Steelworks, they're battling back and forth with it. You got other companies. What the consumer doesn't realize, for instance, Zeus is sitting in our shop right now. It's sitting on the shelf right now. We can't release it until we finish filing all the legal paperwork, dealing with all the 2 different attorney firms to make sure everything is in order. So when we release it, if someone tries to copy it, then we can go after it. Now, along with filing patents and trademark agreements and all this stuff, it drives the price of the product up. I'm sure, I don't know how many of y'all have dealt with filing patents or getting something trademarked, but you're talking about attorneys that cost you in excess of $300 an hour. You're talking about to file a patent on Zeus, I believe the paperwork was over 38 pages long.
Oh my God.
Just to file that one patent. Now, Zeus isn't the only product that we're releasing, and we're patenting everything. We had to patent the hubs. We had to patent products that they haven't seen yet. Slinger's been to our shop. He knows we have a lot of stuff sitting in our shop ready to go. We can't release it.
So when people, and that's, man, I wish that some of these people who pose these questions on these Facebook pages can hear what you're saying and understand that the amount of money, when they ask you, well, Vernon, why are your lights so expensive? Vernon, why does a strip cost $60-$70 when I can buy it? Well, there's numerous reasons why that, but one of the reasons is just like you said, there is so much cost in protecting your equipment and your product that cost has to get passed along to the consumer. I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
Oh man, if you look at Zeus right now, we are already 50,000 in the hole.
Just like the pharmaceutical industry, they ask why a pill costs $10. Well, when it costs a nickel to make, well, the first pill cost $10 million to make, and the next one cost a nickel. So yeah, all that innovation, it costs money, and it takes time. And to your point, Vernon, you got your $50,000 into it. Yeah, innovation costs.
Man, yeah, a lot of times, and hopefully people who are on here understand, and people that will watch this later. For instance, the dynamic effects kit, when we developed it, we were 6 figures in the hole. Every component, every diode, every single PCB board, the coating, the gauge of the strips, the shielding, all have to be designed. Everything has to be designed individually, put together, sent to engineers, and with a product sent back. Then you have to change it. Then once you get the whole system, you have to make sure it works. And if it doesn't, if one thing takes it over the limit, then you got to go back and redesign it. A slinger can be a witness. He's on here. Jason Jarman, Tillison in Atlanta, a whole lot of guys. They had these kits on their bikes for over a year without us telling anybody, testing them. And they would tell you we had to take all the strips off, change them several times. So I think it's a big. I don't want to the correct word to really use on this show, but let's just say it's really messed up when you put that kind of effort into designing something, and your competitors are literally just sitting there waiting to get their hands on it so they can try to copy it. Of course, they can try to sell some version of it cheaper than I can. They didn't invest a dime in developing it.
Well, what that tells me, Vernon, though, is you know your product inside out. You know where it came from. You know how it got to where it is. You know why it works and why previous versions or lesser versions don't work. You know where the weak points are, and you know why yours are the best. Whereas somebody that's coming along and copying your stuff, all they know is that they sent it over and got somebody to replicate it, and they don't know anything about it. So if something goes wrong, they don't know why it went wrong. If maybe it was the manufacturing technique, maybe it was, well, who knows? They don't know anything about it because they weren't in on the ground floor designing it.
Oh, you're absolutely right. You have people that advertise and say that their lights are like ours. So when their lights stop working, who do you think they call? They call us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we didn't make those lights. Yeah, well, the person we bought it from said they're like yours. I'm like, well, no, they're not. Prime example, the black strips that are floating around right now are way too dark. The coating is way too hard. We already know in a few months, you're not going to be able to see the lights through there and the coating's going to crack.
Especially if you try to curve them around a hard turn on a sling shade or something like that, and those sharp corners in the back, you're going to crack if you're trying to take it too tight.
Right. For one thing that we have that's an advantage to us in this industry, that we design all of our own products from scratch. So a lot of times when people are advertising products that they want to compete with us, we're looking at it and we're just like, well, that's not going to last. Well, we can't go out and say anything because it looks like we're attacking the company or we're hating on them, so to speak. So we just look at it and smile and we're like, all right, well, we know this guy, people who want the cheap product going to run out and buy this. And in the next, 2-3 weeks, next 2-3 months, we're going to be showing up at rallies and they're going to be asking us to take these lights off.
And I've seen it. I mean, so Bobby and I have seen it.
Pile of lights that were taken off.
Yeah, I mean that is the case. So we have some other questions. I guess some other questions we'll talk about, but let's get down to it. Let's just tell everybody what is Zeus. Tell everybody, Vernon, what Zeus is.
Zeus, simply put, is the next evolution in 12-volt lighting. We started out wanting to design a system to attack one main issue, which was lights jumping back and forth from individuals' phones. But as we started designing Zeus, and I'm talking to the engineers and the guys in the shop, I said, man, we need to go ahead and we're going to fix everything. We're going to make the one product that everybody can use. It's going to solve all the problems. So we wrote down a list of what everybody's been asking us, was telling us that they wanted in a product, and we put it all in Zeus. You would be hard pressed to ask me something that Zeus doesn't do.
So all right. So the number one. So let's talk about what Zeus does. The number one thing that everybody has been wanting, what I've been wanting, what Bobby's been wanting, what Sling has been wanting, and everybody in the community has been wanting, is the ability to control their lights without anybody else taking it over. They want to know that when they go to a show or they go out for a ride and they set a pattern, that nobody else is going to be able to change it. Zeus solves that problem, doesn't it?
Zeus solved that problem. We also took it one step further. Not only will Zeus stay on your phone, but when you cut on Zeus and you go into our new app, you can hit a button that says auto sync. With auto sync on, when you cut Zeus on, it will search for your phone. It doesn't
Okay.
matter how many people out there have Zeus. It doesn't matter how many people are searching at the same time. Zeus will be married to your phone.
So there is no more. It's a sign. Every phone has a MAC address. Anybody that knows anything about networking, every device has a MAC address. The software in Zeus, the app that you're going to have on the phone, is going to recognize your phone, and you're going to connect to it, and no one else is going to be able to connect to it, and you're not going to have a problem with it. Problem number one solved. Case closed. No other controller out there that is that. I mean, I'm not going to say that there's no other controller out there that will do that, because there is. There are other controllers that will do it. However, they are limited in their functionality, so that maybe they have the ability to control just these lights. But let me tell you what else they don't have. They don't have the ability, right? Y'all ready for this? The controller does not have the ability to control lights that are directly connected to turn signals, brake lights, reverse signals. So there's a little module that's going to get connected to Zeus, and you heard me right. If your lights or if everything is set up properly on your bike and you have this module connected, what's it going to do, Vernon? Tell us about what that module is going to do.
All right, we are designing a box that you will be able to plug into Zeus that will run your turn signals, brake signals, and reverse. We're going to release that in a few months. Anything that we decided that we're going to plug directly into the electrical system of the bike, we're going to test a little bit longer.
So Vernon,
So-
does that mean that you hit your turn signal and all the lights for one side of the bike are gonna have
Right.
like the same like monochrome like turn signal colors and all that?
Yeah,
And your
whatever.
reverse lights are gonna go red and all that?
Correct. And your reverse lights will go white, your brake
White.
lights will go red, and your left turn signal, right turn signal will go yellow.
Oh man.
No matter
So-
what color they are, they'll turn to those colors when you hit those switches, and then when you hit the switch back, it will immediately catch back up with the chase pattern.
So just imagine this. Imagine you're in a crew, right? Imagine you are riding down your sling experience, and you've got Zeus connected. And I say this particularly for Slinger because it would make the biggest effect. You got lights everywhere, right? So I'm gonna imagine if I'm putting words in your mouth. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna do it. I would imagine you're going to be down for Zeus is going to be one of your next purchases. Is that a fair statement?
Oh yes, sir.
All right.
Wait.
So yeah, waiting on it, right? So can you imagine? Everybody has Slinger's bike. There's no, I mean, if you haven't, I don't know where your head's been at, because I mean, it's just a phenomenal bike, right? But can you imagine the whole back end of Slinger's bike when every time he hits a brake light, they turn red, the whole back turns red. Every time he turns the turn signal on, the whole left side is going to turn blink orange or amber. The right side is going to blink amber. Every time he goes to back up. And I want to, you know what, Jason, I want to talk to you in just a minute. Well, I want to talk about you in just a minute. So put in reverse, the whole back end turns white, right? These are things, this is a game changer, dude, but that's just part of it. You've only heard just a tip of it. Let's talk about, raise your hand if you got a dead battery because you were sitting in the parking lot and you had your shit running, and everybody's like, oh man, you're like, yo, this looks good, right? You get in the car, you get your sling, and you hit that start button, and then the shit happens, right? It click, you hit click. We've all heard it. We have all heard that. If you've never heard it, then I don't know. Yes, we've all heard that click, right? But that's not going to happen anymore, is it, Vernon? Tell them why.
No, as part of our new app, you can program the low voltage point for your battery. For instance, if you say you don't want your battery to drop below 12 volts. If you're running your light system and your battery gets to 12 volts, Zeus will blink a few times as it gets close to 12 volts, and when it gets to 12 volts, Zeus will shut off.
Right. So battery protection, guys. No more do you have to worry about, is my bike gonna start, or do I have to carry a jump pack with me? Because and I say that because Bobby's sitting over there and we've had to do it. We've been in downtown Denver and his shit has cut off and he's like, I gotta jump start my sling. So no more of that, because Zeus is gonna control your voltage for you for your lights. And when you get to that voltage, just like you said, Vernie, it is gonna shut them off, and it's going to safely allow you to start your sling, which is a phenomenal feature.
That is, yeah, that is my biggest worry. I mean, I half the time I'll sit just with my engine running for fear of if I cut it off, I'm going to lose my battery in a matter of minutes. I know it'll take more than minutes, but I'm just paranoid. And so knowing that that Zeus is watching my battery for me and it's going to cut off before I got a problem, yeah, that's a game changer, man.
It is a game changer, man. Especially like people who don't have, they're riding by themselves and they're posted up somewhere, and I mean, it just happens. That's just crazy. So when I heard that, I was my mind was blown when Vernon told me that. So let's keep going. So dedicated app, right? You got a dedicated app. Any paint matching strips in the future? So New Jersey thing says, will there be any paint matching strips in the future? And I think I know where you're going with this, right? So you see, I mean, you see the products out there, right? I mean, let's just listen. I ain't gonna skirt around it. You see what DDM's posted, right? Everybody's seen it. No dot LEDs, right? The strips are the same color as your bike, but I'm gonna let Vernon answer this question, but there's another part to what Zeus will do that may help you with that. So Vernon, just answer that question and then tell them how Zeus solves that problem.
Paint matching strips. That's another one of those products that, man, we looked at when people advertise. I just don't know if they just don't think the stuff all the way out. If you paint strips to match your bike, what happens when you try to change your strips to a different color underneath the paint? So, for instance, if your bike is green and you want the strips to turn red, but you got green paint over the strip, how are you ever going to turn your strip red?
Green, red.
Or anything. So what we did with Zeus was you don't have to paint match your strips. If you hold your finger down while working your color options on one of the color tabs, a formula will come up where you can actually type in your paint code. And once you type in the paint code and hit confirm, Zeus will turn your light that color.
So if I got a 2018 navy blue slingshot, I can get perfectly color matched with the new app.
All you would do is hold it down. It's going to ask for what color, what formula number on the R, which might be say like 255, what color under G50, what color under the other alphabet, and you put it in. When you hit transmit, the strips will turn that color.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So to answer your question, New Jersey Sling, it's color match, but the strip itself is not. The silicone on top of it is either going to be clear or it's going to be dark, and the light itself will be able to match. So I hope that answers your question, and I think it's exactly what you're looking for. So hopefully that answers it. So
I think Billy that the color match strips that they're referring to, available otherwise, they're going to be single color strips anyway. Are they not?
I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't know enough about them to tell you if they're going to be single color. I just don't know. I don't know if and that'll be something that I obviously when they hit the market, they'll release their own. They'll do their own thing. But I don't know how that's going to look or what that's going to do. So I'll let those guys answer it. I don't want to speak for them, but yeah, from what you've seen. So Dan says, once a module comes out, will it be easy to switch current LED lights to the signals and brake lights? And I'll let Vernon answer that question. Obviously, it's his product. So Vernon, how easy is it going to be to do that, to add that module?
one of the most one of the most complicated things you have when you're designing a product is we do this every day. We have to understand that the individuals we're selling these products to don't do this every day. And everybody doesn't have a light the night close to them. So usually by the time we put out a product, one, we're going to do an instruction video, and two, we're going to try to make it as simple as possible. Right now, his question was, because I want to make sure I stay on point, switch your current lights to the yes. Zeus, which we didn't mention before, is an 8-zone system, which means you can now control 8 areas of your bike independently. You can program a strip to be solid red while making the next strip go red and white, while making the next strip go ... red, the next one go blue, the next one strobe, next one move to the basic music, all over the bike. All you're going to do is take the 4 zones that are assigned as triggers. When you look at your app, there's an icon at the bottom that says triggers. It's going to tell you exactly which zones on Zeus will respond to your brake, reverse, and your signal lights. You will plug your 8-to-1 splitter into those zones, and any strips that you plug into those 8-to-1 splitters will correspond with the assigned commandment. So for instance, if zone 1 is the right signal and you put an 8-to-1 splitter on there, well, every light that you plug into that splitter, when you hit the right signal, will blink when you're using the trigger box. To be totally candid on the show, the problem we're having with the trigger box is it's hard to figure a way for an individual who don't have a lot of experience in installing to cut into the brake line and the signal lines and tie the box in. We already have a plug where you can plug it directly into Zeus, like a USB type plug. But the problem is to get the actual functions, you have to hardwire it. So now we're trying to figure out a way so when someone buys it, they can plug into these wires easily.
So, and that's a good point, because, there will be a lot of people who come to you. There'll be some people who come to Bobby and I to get these modules installed, and then there'll be some people who want to do it themselves. And it's completely reasonable to think that a person's going to be able to do that to themselves, be able to install that themselves, but it's got to, you have to protect, you and I were talking, you got to protect yourself, right? You can't just say, here, tap into this brake light, do this. There's a certain level of responsibility as a product owner, is to ensuring that, that no damage, or the least amount of damage, not least amount, but that no damage gets done on behalf of a product that you put out. Is that fair?
Right, which is why this will be one of the first products that we put out, where individuals who choose to buy the trigger as an add-on will sign an agreement saying that they're willing to take all responsibility on the install.
Okay. Not that you expect there to be any problems, right? Because you're not going to release a product that you expect there to be issues on, but simply because people are morons. Let's call it what it is. There are some people who should not be installing these things. They can barely, I'm not going to say any names, but we know some people that barely know where the clutch is on some of these bikes. And so I asked somebody one day, I was like, he said, I can't get my bike started. I was like, well, did you push your clutch in all the way? And his response was, is that the pedal on the left? You should, that's what he says. Is that the pedal on the left? Yes, it's the pedal on the left. But
you might, the problem we run into is like a lot of men on here, women who are doing installs, man. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it. You're going to plug something up before you read the instructions.
Oh, we're men. Of course we do.
Yes. Men and women. Zeus is not the box for that. For one, Zeus is the first device where you actually have to have a plan when you're designing. Because like I said, it's 8 zones. So you have to decide which light strips you want to work together on a particular zone.
Yeah, when everything's going to turn the same color, you don't have to worry about which strip is going into which controller. Just plug it into the closest controller. But Zeus is gonna require a little more planning out.
Exactly right. You're exactly, and it was Robert. Robert, you have like 100 trips, but you have seven controllers. Probably seem to be 8 controllers. And the biggest hurdle that we're going to have to come, it's not even a hurdle. It's just time consuming. It's not hard. It's just time consuming. It's just ensuring that the strips on the left side of the bike go to a certain controller that gets plugged into a certain port. The ones on the right side go to a certain controller that go to a certain port, and then the rear as well. So you're right. It's going to take some planning. It is going to take a little bit of time to just not just put the strips on and run the wire, but know where you're plugging into. So again, not difficult, just time consuming.
Now, we have done a few things to help you when you're running Zeus. The first thing that you're going to be able to do as soon as you sign in, hit the controller stand to sync to your phone. It's going to ask you to name your product. Okay. So once you name it, every time you cut your phone on, you're going to see that name. Well, we took it one step further. You have 8 zones. You can name each zone. So you'll be able to say, if you do all your wheels on one zone, then you can name that zone wheels. If you do your left side driver front, you can name it left side driver front. You can name each individual zone. So when you're setting up your show, so to speak, you can pull in just the groups that you want to put in that show. Now, another thing that Zeus is doing is you can program a complete show. You can program all 8 areas to do whatever you want to where you got your bike doing a great show. Then you can save that total show. So if you go into an LED contest, you can have up to 9 shows already programmed in your system. And unlike the systems in the past, when you cut this system off, it will save your shows. So you don't have to go back and reset them up.
So when you say like a show, do you mean like timing? Like I'm gonna have this zone go from this pattern to that pattern to another pattern with timing, or what
No.
do you mean when you're describing a show?
You can say in this show, I want my wheels, and we'll keep it basic. I want my wheels to be red. I want my underbody on another zone to be white. I want the whole top half of the bike to be blue. Okay? And you can save that as one show.
Okay.
So can you say, all right, I want the wheels to be red, chase forward. I want the top to be blue, chase back. Or is it that customizable so you can tell each zone not only the color, but what pattern you're looking for?
Of course. In this day and age, say my man Slinger, he has what you call like a belt of strips where you might have 8 rows of strips all put together to make one thick strip.
Okay.
If you took all 8 of those and put them in a different zone, you could tell each one of those strips what to do individually. And they could all run 8 different patterns at the same time.
So, and this is something that I want to be very clear about because I was a little confused about this, but I think I've been clarified, and so I want to pass this along to those of you who are listening. So there are 8 zones. Let's be clear here. There are 8 zones to Zeus, and then so you can plug 8 lights in, which no one's going to do because I mean we all have more than 8 lights. But you're going to connect an 8-to-1 splitter that has as many as 16, probably close to, you probably should be running 12, 13 lights on a splitter. And that's going to get plugged into zone 1. Whatever you choose for zone 1 to do, that's what those 13 lights on that 8-to-1 splitter are going to do. I don't want there to be any misconception that okay, there is that you're going to be able to individually control all 12 lights on an 8-to-1 splitter. That's not what Vernon's saying. What he's saying is you have customizability on 8
at the
zones
Zeus zone level.
at the Zeus zone level. That's correct. Is that am I wrong on that, Vernon?
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay. One of the things that I got a chance to see on some video was when we talk about customizability, let's talk about pixel count and what it's because let's say you have 3 strips on a hood, and the first strip is 4 foot, the second strip is, I don't know, 3.5 foot, and the third strip is 3 foot. Let's talk about how you customize those strips in order to by doing the pixel count. Talk a little bit about that.
All right. A lot of people that's not familiar with in-depth lighting is lights are measured in pixels. Simply put, if you put a 6-foot strip next to a 3-foot strip and your pixel count is set to the 3-foot strip, say the pixel count is set at 20, then your 6-foot strip is only going to run halfway. The lights are going to run down 3 feet and stop, which I'm sure some people have had that problem with other light systems. What we did was you can assign a different pixel count to each zone. The rule of thumb is assign the pixel count based on the longest strip on that zone. The beauty of this is you can actually take your pixel count and stagger your strips. So if you wanted a strip to run a pattern where it went upward, like one strip is stopped here, the next strip is stopped here, the next one is stopped here, the next one is stopped here, you could adjust the pixel count to make it do that.
Okay.
So you could design a whole lot of options with this.
Do you have any documentation or videos or anything, Vernon, that talk about like rules of thumb for pixel counts per length of strip by chance?
What we did was, like we always do, we've made 9 videos to cover all the different things we're talking about on here, and we also made a set of written instructions.
Awesome.
So when we release Zeus, you'll see 9 videos on how to name Zeus, how to name your zones, how to set your pixel count, how to set your battery voltage, how to assign your groups, how to set up your favorites, how to sync to music. All of that we've already made the videos. Like I said, Zeus is in our shop right now. Just due to everything that's going on in the Slingshot community and other companies, we can't release it until we're sure it's protected.
Right. So those of you who are like, well, we want to see it in action. Unfortunately, you can't see it in action right now. Like you said, he has a Protectus product. Know that I have seen it. Robert has seen it. There's a handful of people who have seen this, has seen Zeus in action. Particularly, I said I was going to get back to him. Jason German, man. So he was the first one, right? He was the first one to get it, right?
Yeah, he's the only one that has it outside of our shop right now. Jason was one of the gentlemen, man. Let me tell you, we met Jason. I think we just met him on the street driving the Slingshot back in the day, man. We said, hey, man, we represent Light tonight. We got a new system called Dynamic Effects Kit. Would you let us put it on your bike? He didn't know us. He brought his bike. I believe he brought it over the next day. He basically let us test the Dynamic Effects Kit on his bike for over a year. So he kind of came by when we heard we had Zeus and said, hey, man, won't you let me test Zeus for you? The funny thing was when I cut his lights on that we had put on 4 years ago, they all looked brand new. So I called him. I was like, man, you really want us to take these off? He said, yeah, I really want the black strips. So go ahead and put the black strips on and wire Zeus up to him. Let me test it out for you. But all the lights that we had put on this bike from the original testing was still working fine.
And Slinger is a testament to that. So Slinger, we're talking what, 3 years? 3 years you had your strips on, right? Maybe a little bit longer than 3 years now. Is that right?
Oh yeah, longer than 3.
Yeah.
So anybody, almost 4. So anybody who has seen his bike, will, there's not a yellow mark on there, right? There is not these strips are just as good and are just as bright as the day that they got put on.
And trust me, Billy and I have been up close on that bike looking. Where did he run this wire? Where did he run that wire? How did he do this? Where did this go? We've been like at the magnifying glass looking like, wow, how did he do that? So we've seen it up close.
We have seen it up close. And I would tell you, if there was any yellow, there are no there is no corn effect in these lights, not at all. I can attest to that. So when Vernon says that he's developing these coatings, or he's working with these engineers to do that. And have these coatings where these lights don't turn yellow. I mean, there may come a point where they turn yellow, but to be quite honest with you, I believe that the tape will probably come off of them before the lights turn yellow. I mean, maybe that's just me, but that's kind of what I'm.
3M's going to need to develop better tape before Vernon's going to need to develop a better strip.
that is the truth. No wiser words have been spoken, my friend.
You got to think about it though. When we first came out, everybody complained about our price. But can you imagine if we had told people that if you bought these lights 5 years from now, they're going to look exactly like they look when you take them out the pack? Nobody would have believed me. Now they see it. Our lights last just as long as you're going to own that bike.
Exactly.
That is the truth.
It might have been an expensive buy 5 years ago, but now 5 years later, you're still in the show with those lights. They're still
if you think about like the depreciation value, okay, let's see, 5 years, let's see, 60 months. If I paid over 60 months, it's like, let's see, we're talking pennies a day that it costs you when it's going to last as long as it does.
And not to mention, every single thing that we've developed, you did not have to remove any items off your bike. You can add right to it. We've developed elite halos, headlight halos, cup holder landing pads. Everything plugs right into the system that you already have.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's super
no
simple.
Rip and replace going on.
No,
just
rip and replace, just add on, and that's what makes everything so awesome. That, you know what? Hey, I want to do an interior. Let me throw a controller. Let me throw an 8-to-1 splitter, not controller. Let me throw an 8-to-1 splitter in the interior. Plug all my interior lights in there if that's what I want to do. It's just super simple to add, and Zeus is just. I mean, for the most part, now I'm not talking about the brake module, but I'm talking about Zeus itself is going to be super simple to actually physically install. So that you've got to be super excited about that. And listen, I'm glad you brought that up. So New Jersey Sling says it's nice to see a vendor find a flaw, fix it right away, and admit to it. Vern is not going to sit here and tell you that his system is not without flaws or hasn't been without flaws over the time. But what the great thing about working with Vernon is I can call Vernon and I can say, Vernon, this is what Robert and I are experiencing. We're doing some installs. This is what we're seeing. This is what we believe there to be an issue. And Vern is going to be like, you know what? I'm on it. And it's going to get resolved. So you're exactly right. I mean, he cares about making sure that his system runs top notch, and he always has. So it is great to see that, because Lord knows we've made those calls.
You got to realize, like tonight, we travel all over the country. I couldn't face people at rallies knowing that I'm selling them a bad product. I have to be able to look everybody in the eye and know they paid me and they expected something. I couldn't travel to Vegas or to California or to New York or Florida and face all these different people knowing that I'm selling them a bad product or there's something going on with it that I can't fix. Like I said before, when we designed the dynamic effects kit, 16 strips was a lot of strips on a bike. So when we designed the toggle switch, it was made to handle that much. And of course, when people started going slinger-like, then you're going to run into the switch getting hot. And I have customers that call me and they want it fixed right away. And I said, man, this is not an overnight fix, but give me your number. Let me know or stay in touch with me. Give me a chance to design something that'll work. So then we come out with the relay wiring harness, and now you can hook hundreds of strips up to a bike on one switch without any problem. So we will admit that, anytime you're designing products, man, and people are pushing them to the limit, then you're gonna have some snafus, some hiccups, but you have to be willing to listen to what people want and fix it.
And that is such. I mean, it's great to hear, man. It is great to hear, and you're very receptive to feedback. I mean, I think you and I probably talk once a week, if not more, sometimes, and we've talked about some things. One of the things, we talked about was we talked about some features of Zeus and what to expect. And you've also, and we're not going to go into detail about it because it's still G34 classified, but you've got some products coming out on top of Zeus, some new light products that are really going to change the game again and are going to complement Zeus very well.
Man, I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm gonna tell you and everybody that's listening on this, we've designed for the first time a product that I believe 90% of the people that love lights are going to want this one product. Once again, we can't release it until we file all the legal paperwork. So make sure you thank my so-called competitors in the delay. But yes, you've seen it, Billy. Slinger's seen it. Jason's seen it. The few people have seen it have tried to order it in advance. They wanted to pay for it just to make sure they get it. So yeah, with Zeus, we've designed some dream products.
I mean, it really is a game changer. And I'm going to say this not because you've been supporting of this podcast with since our inception, but because it really is the truth. And that is that, Vernon, you've always changed the game. It started small, and it seems like every couple of months you're like, hey, check this out, or you're sending me a video, come look at this, check this out. And it elevates everything, and it's a good thing because the competitors are out there are seeing what you're putting out, and they're going, well, damn, we got to step up our game or we're going to get left in the dust. And I can tell you right now, guys, I'll say this to anybody that, I've had people who are currently vendors of lights that are not Light the Night, who have said publicly on videos, hey, here's a light, but we use a crap controller. Well,
yeah, said it on the video.
Said it on the video. We use a crap controller. Now, what is that? How are you going to run a system with a crap controller, right? If you want to throw some Amazon lights on there, everybody was like, yeah, and I love it. I love it when people, oh man. So prime example was today. Somebody says, you get every couple of days you get somebody sling. I know you've seen it. They're like, well, I'm new to slingshots and I want to put some lights on my sling. What do y'all recommend? And then inevitably there is one jackleg out there who was like, hey, Trick LED is they got some great lights. Okay, first of all, if y'all have never seen Trick lights, come on, dude. Okay, first of all, they're about the thickness of a marshmallow. I'm just going to put that out there. Those things are huge. They're massive. And I can say this because Bobby and I have put Trick lights on a sling, and we know how damn thick they are. It's ridiculous, right? It's crazy. So that's step one. Step two is they got a crappy controller. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, well, when I hit the brakes, my wheels turn red. Really? Okay. If that's what you're looking for, then Zeus solves your problem. Okay. Zeus has solved your problem. If you're looking for stuff to turn red when you hit the brakes, go buy Zeus. But I'm telling you right now, anybody out there who is saying go buy Trick lights, they don't have a clue. They don't have a clue. They don't have a clue.
Lights.
And I will tell you the same. Hey, and you quickly moved away from them, didn't you?
My first lights were Trick lights. I didn't know any better. I was a newbie and had no clue. I didn't have a podcast to set me straight on what the best route to go was. If I had, I could have solved so many problems before I had them.
Before we go any further, man, let me say one thing though. y'all saying I changed the game, but really it's not me, man. I got while I'm on the show, I gotta give a shout out to some of these other people. I don't do any of this by myself.
Right.
I
You got a great group.
not only I also have great distributors like y'all because y'all will call me and say, "Hey, Vern, I think you might need to fix this." You call me all and say, "Hey, Vern, I'm gonna tell you something. Let me tell you, you need to do this." I
Like,
got
this
my
is some
man.
bullshit.
I got my man Devin on here, man. He's been with me almost from the start. He helps me out a great deal, man. My sons, my crew at my shop, even I got guys that are outside the light industry, like Elvin. You know, he's helped us with power. It's a whole collective effort at this point. I got Jason, who once again volunteered his bike, and Slinger, who's always over there with his bike, letting us know something. So it's no longer a Vernon thing. If I make something, I make sure someone like Slinger or Jason, they come look at it. Say, what do you think about this? Do you think
Right.
you like this? Is something that you want? You know, you think people will like it? If they say
Right.
no, and there's a lot of stuff we've come out with that's in my storage in boxes. But we just, hey, it ain't gonna make it, you know?
Ain't gonna make it. Ain't
Well,
gonna make it.
Vernon, Billy has always led me to believe that he
Oh
was
shit.
the reason that you developed everything. That
I
that
I call look.
it all started with Billy, and Billy had a dream, and
It was a
you were
vision.
the face of
It was a
Light the Night.
vision from
That
God.
Billy was the heart and soul of Light the Night. That was what I was led to believe.
I mean, I may have straight him straight him that way a little bit. I call Vernon. I call Vernon Sunday, be like 6 p.m. Vernon, what in the hell? I'm going to tell this story. I love telling stories, and I'm going to tell you this story about Tim. So those of you who don't know Tim is one of Vernon's sons, and Vernon and Tim has been instrumental in fielding a lot of my calls because I think sometimes Vernon looks at the phone and goes, "Oh shit, Bill's calling me again. I ain't answer this one." So so I called Tim. Well, Tim drives a truck, right? Part of what Tim does is he drives a big truck, and so I called him one day for something. And I was mad as hell. It was because it's been about a month ago. I called him, and I was like, I called him on. I had Facebook Messenger on video. He was like, "Hold on," he's like, "I can't cut my camera on." He goes, "I'm sleeping. I got no clothes on." He says, "I'll just talk to you on the phone." So I'm like, "Good Lord, man! It's like 6 a.m. What are you doing, man?" So. So it is everyone. You're right, man. You know what? And I met Devin the same time that I met you down in Colorado Springs, Vernon. And Devin is a fantastic guy. I really enjoyed talking to him. He's down there in Maryland holding it down, and runs a great business. If you guys are ever down in the Maryland area,
You met Vernon in Houston. You didn't meet him in Colorado Springs.
no, I met Devin in Colorado Springs before
You
I
met
met
us
you.
both in Colorado Springs, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That,
you're talking about way back. Okay, I thought you were
yeah,
talking
back,
Yeah,
about
I'm
this
back
going
past
when he,
way
year. I'm like,
back.
hey,
Billy,
back
we
when
were
he
in
was
Houston. We
endorsing
weren't
another
in Colorado
company.
Springs.
That's back when
Yes,
he was endorsing another company.
I was. And you know,
Ah,
hey, I was, man. But you know, I saw the error of my ways, man. And
I helped him rip those lights off.
yeah, well, yes, you did help me rip those lights off. And I don't know, I hadn't heard much from that guy. I don't know if he's still selling lights or not, but you know, this guy went head to head with Vernon. It didn't end well for him. So uh you know, like you said, you get what you pay for, man. Light the Night is the cream of the crop. They are the Cadillac of lights. You do pay a little bit more, but we've talked why you pay a little bit more for them.
They're gonna
And
last forever.
they're gonna last you. And you know, and there's some talk of maybe some potential price restructuring down the line on some things. And hopefully, you know, I know Vernon's goal. I know he's got a great heart, and I know he wants to see these lights on the bikes of everybody out there. And I know that he's going to do what he's going to do, and does it well. Just a couple more things I want to finish up. So along with Zeus, you've got and if you get mad at me for saying this, then
Then don't say it. You better
Then don't say
better
it.
text me
I'm
first. Don't you let nothing
I,
out.
I'm not. Well, I am going to say it only because you put it in the notes and I didn't put it in the notes. So I figure if you put it in the notes, then it's okay to talk about. Let's talk about the installation tray. Can we talk about that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. So the installation tray, and I saw pictures of it. It describe what that's going to be, really.
We already have it. It's on the webpage, man. An installation tray is simply put is something that makes your install look extremely neat when you get done. It bolts to your hood latch, man. You can put your distribution blocks on it, and any wiring that you have goes underneath it where you can't see it. One of the things I would like to mention on here, because a lot of people who are new to the community just fully don't realize how many products we have actually innovated and invented at our shop. You know, I have people that don't really care for Light the Night or for me, but would have products that we invented on their bikes and not even know that we're the guys who invented it. You know, right. People talking noise and they running around with a grill that lights up with the name in it, and we're the people who created it.
Sure.
So, Light the Night, and hopefully individuals, like you say, who are new to this business, who might not know where to turn, you can't always trust the individuals on Facebook to point you in the right direction. Correct. For instance, if you are in, say, Houston, they're going to point you to Houston shops. They're not pointing you to the best shops. They're pointing you to shops that they have connections with, that they're getting pushbacks from. Right. Or just they're pointing you to shops that that support their events or whatever. And when you ask the question, you want the best shop. You don't want the shop that this person is getting a hookup from.
Well, and I like that. I'm gonna jump in for just a second and add to that and say, you know what? When somebody tells me, when somebody says, I'm looking for a turbo or a supercharger, Bobby and I are always going to send them to DDM because they are the best in the business. We know they're the best in the business. And when it comes to performance and everything that we've dealt with him on, it is the best in the business. So that's a fact. And we truly believe that when people say that you have the best lights on the market, we truly believe in our hearts that you have the best lights on the market.
100%.
Hey, we're like a pair of Levi's. Everybody got Levi's. Levi's been around for years. Every year, some new hot pair of jeans come out, and everybody jump on them, want to put them on. They last about 6-7 months, and then they're gone. Every year, there's a new challenger to Light the Night. Everybody wants to compare themselves to Light the Night, then they're gone. I can go back through the years, like you say, Trick LEDs and other companies. You know, every year there's somebody. This year you got the other guys trying to do stuff, copy the black strips and the no dot stuff and all that. In the end, we're the company that's always steadfast and there. We've been doing this 12 years. You got guys right now who trying to make a name just by comparing their product to us. I issued a challenge on a show for anybody who felt their lights was just as good as ours, for anybody who thought they had a product better than ours, that we finally designed our own bike, and Slinger Sling the bike. I said we had 10 grand. For everybody that's on Facebook talking, and I'll repeat it again. Don't go around saying you have a product better than ours, that your product is like ours, unless you want to accept this challenge. So far, I gave everybody 30 days. It's been over a month. Not a single one of those companies accepted the challenge. So if you're in the market for lights out there, and a company tells you they have lights like ours, simply ask them, why didn't you accept the challenge then? Because they know their product doesn't compare to ours.
No, sir.
You're putting your money where your mouth is, man. 10 grand, right?
Mm-hmm. 10 grand?
I'm going to say this. I didn't know how I was going to phrase this tonight going into the show, but I think I want to talk specifically. I want to talk specifically about no dots because I think we can't have a good conversation tonight without at least dressing it, because that's what the hype is right now. No dots they're going to be coming out sometime. And there are going to be some people who want those lights. I don't think anybody here tonight can argue with that. I I will tell you this is that I love Dave, and Dave has been so good to us, and I consider him a very good friend. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say that it's not going to, because obviously I haven't seen them in person other than what I saw last year at Sing Experience. But I'm very curious to see how they compare to these lights and the Zeus controller, because paired together is really where the difference is going to shine, right? I think that's going to be the huge difference when you pair Zeus with your strips. I think that no one is going to be able to argue that they are the finest on the market.
No dots. Hey, Slinger, you still on here?
I'm on here, man.
Wasn't the no dot bike parked behind your bike in an LED contest?
Yes, sir.
Did you win brightest bike?
Brightest.
Was his bike right behind yours where they could see them both together?
Right behind me. I didn't even notice it.
So when he advertises he has the brightest lights, he already lost to our bike. He was parked right behind Slinger's bike in the contest last year.
Yeah, I saw that bike.
He got a drone shot.
It's a drone shot. Yeah. Well, I and I think I can speak from Bobby as well when I say that we are looking forward to what these products, what they bring to the table and how they compare. Because they got $10,000 that says, they're not going to be on the same level, and that says a lot. So
Now wait, don't get me wrong. Every company has a right to sell whatever they want to sell, however they want to sell it.
Yes.
You just like you've had to tell some people before, you can cross the line by antagonizing us in your efforts to sell your product. If some people like no dots, then buy them. They
Right.
might suit the need that you have. No dots are not new. They've been out a long time. We had someone come to our shop with them 2 years ago from Marine Customs. We looked at them, saw a bunch of flaws in them, and decided not to go with it. You can't make anything with them. They do have dots. They just took the LED light strip and put it inside of an infused case. So which means when your lights are trying to shine through an infused case, they come out blurry. And we didn't want blurry lights. Not to mention, when you play your lights for any period of time, the heat from the strips, because they're enclosed, will start to stain the casing. And you'll start to see, just like they have a picture on the page right now, and every 3 inches, it's a little black smear. That's the light strip burning through the covering. So like I said, we develop our own products. We look at a lot of stuff that comes out, and we immediately know why it won't work.
I think you hit the nail on the head when you said earlier about I think there's enough room for everyone out here to do their thing, to do their LED game, and do their own LED game. I guess that's the key to it. Do your own LED game. And I'm not accusing anybody specifically of copying you or doing that. That's like I said in the beginning of the podcast. This is if this applies to you, then you need to take a second look at it. What I'm saying is, you're exactly right in the sense that there are going to be people who look at these at the no dot LEDs and go, "This is the right light for me." And you know what? At the end of the day, I support them, man. If they look at it and they make an educated decision that this is the light that they want on their bike, then I support that.
We applaud the innovation. I mean, copying is bullshit, but if you're innovating, if you're doing something different and making it so that the slingshot community has more choices that are original, then more power to you.
Man, not to mention, LED contest would be a lot more entertaining with more competitive companies in them.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We travel all around the country, and every bike in the LED contest have our lights on. So if somebody comes up with a product that's going to challenge us, it would be fun. It would be great. Just that up till now, no one has. Once we release Zeus, I'm not exaggerating. I'm pretty sure it's going to put our competitors 5 years behind us. I'm pretty sure of that.
I can tell you with just what we've talked about tonight, they got a lot of catching up to do, whoever that competitor may be. Slinger, do you remember the bike that was parked in front of you in Texas last year? I bring this up because it seemed like it was going to be the next biggest fad, was the light that was embedded into the hood. You remember that? I don't know what company made it. I honestly don't. I didn't even ask them, but
it's the base.
It's the what?
The base.
Was it yeah. So they had these lights that were, you couldn't, they were like embedded. They channeled out the hood or whatever and put these lights in, and everybody was like, oh, this is going to be the next big thing. And man, no, where are they at right now? Nobody's doing that anymore, right? Nobody's doing that.
Once again, you have to know your history in lights. That was something that was done at car shows 15, 20 years ago. They got away from it because it's hard to maintain the strips when they go out.
Right.
Yes.
You got to dig that out, and
you got to dig it out.
Body work.
Not to mention, it's not something that you can sell to someone and they can do it themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, so the labor in that has got to be astronomical.
But there's still people doing it. It's a cool effect. Doing a whole bike, making it bright, shining through paint, probably won't work.
And people like color bikes. That was a white bike up.
Yeah.
Damn near clear.
Right.
Yeah.
Black bike, orange bike.
But don't get us wrong. There's no way we're not knocking anybody's product on this show.
Right.
But we are telling you the truth about different products.
I'm knocking Trick LED just for
So,
but anybody but Trick LED.
Vernon, the question has come up in the comments about a release date for Zeus. Tell us when we can get our hands on it.
Tentatively, we're looking the day after the Super Bowl. We're going to show Zeus on a bike, hopefully, which y'all can put this out. We're shooting for between the first and second quarter of the Super Bowl. We'll show you one aspect of it. Between the third and the fourth quarter, we'll show you another. So everybody who's watching the game,
man,
we're going to show you.
So you're gonna have a spot on the Super Bowl. You're gonna have a commercial.
No, on social media, buddy. We ain't got that big yet.
hey, you know what? I could do this because Sling and I are friends. But you know what? You're not gonna see on the Super Bowl. Not gonna see the Giants.
You're gonna see the Giants.
You're gonna see the Giants. Oh man.
Oh, but you might see Mr. Irrelevant.
The last thing I want to close out with this, man. There's some other stuff that I wanted to. Jason says, "Can he tease some of them with the videos this weekend?" Hey, you got to take that up with Vernon, man. I don't take responsibility for that.
Yeah, just let me see them first.
Yeah.
Because another thing with Zeus is there's a lot of new patterns, a lot of things you haven't seen before. They're great.
Yeah, beautiful patterns, beautiful. It's just astronomical. I'm gonna end with this, even though there's some more questions I would love to ask you, man. It's for a different time, but the final question is, what is the key to success of Light Tonight? Tell me what your key to success is. Tell me.
I'm gonna tell y'all this, man, and this is the whole truth on this. You ever been in your car driving down the street and somebody steps out in front of you walking and you blow your horn and you really upset at that person, that pedestrian has cut you off and you pissed off. And you're cursing them out because you're driving and they're walking, they got in your way. People forget that the second that they get out of their car that they're a pedestrian now too. When we started Like the Night, we never forgot what it was like to be the customer. When we started Like the Night, before Like the Night came around, if you were at a bike night at night and something went wrong with your lights, there's no way that you could call your light company at 9 or 10 at night and somebody would answer the phone and help you work out your problem. With Like the Night, we have always kept a customer concern and mindset. So when you come to our shop after paying whatever you pay to have your lights done and something's wrong, you scrape the curb or something, you don't leave your bike. We stop what we're doing and we fix your bike and get you right back on the road. When you call in the middle of the night because you can't remember how to work your lights because it's set in your garage all weekend and you want to go to bike night and do this super show, but you ain't practiced nothing. You can't even remember how to sync it to your phone. Then we sit there with you and explain how to do all that. When you're a distributor and you finish doing a big install and one side of the bike turns red and the other side of the bike turns green, and you can't figure out why, you call us and we sit right there on the phone and help you. So the key to our success as a company is we never forgot what it was like to be a customer, and we never will.
Well, that's huge. Anybody who has ever called you guys has always, I have no doubt that, they've always got great customer service. I know as an extension of you guys that Bobby and I have gotten calls that we've spent hours on, that we didn't do installs on, that we've tried to help, and if we do what we can, and then, maybe we refer them to you. But customer service is key. I know that you provide that customer service. I know that if you, I know that if a strip breaks, and this is what I appreciate. there was somebody who got some lights put on at a different location, and within, gosh, maybe 2 weeks, the light cracked on it, and
on the mirror bracket.
On the mirror bracket, yeah, light cracked, and it looked bad. And to my knowledge, here we are, gosh, 6-8 months later, they still haven't got that fixed, because they haven't, that company didn't take care of the customer, and they have to wait until they can get and meet up with them at a different location that's closer to them, that where they can get that done. And that's simply not the case with you guys. I mean, I know you've gotten on planes and flown to people. I know you've done that. I know that you've sent Devin, to some place to say, hey, can you fix this strip? And that you can call us. If somebody calls you and they're in Colorado, and you can say, hey, look, I need you to go help this guy out. As your distributor, as your business, one of your business team members, we're gonna do everything we can to go get that taken care of as well. So it is a family affair, and it goes throughout the country. So we're honored to be a part of that, Bobby and I, and we look forward to 2023 and what this year has to offer. Look forward to seeing you guys. We will be seeing you guys at some rallies.
Three-wheel showdown.
Yeah, we're gonna be Three-Wheel Showdown. So what's the website again? Is it threewheelshowdown.com? Is that it?
You can put in Three-Wheel Showdown with the 3. You can spell it out, Three-Wheel Showdown, or you can do showdownrally.com, and you will be able to get Zeus and all the new products we're coming out with installed at any of the Three-Wheel Showdown rallies.
Well, that's outstanding. I know Bobby and I have talked tentatively. We hope to see you in Atlanta. We're looking forward to that. The big show there. So, well, guys, we've been at this an hour and a half, and we usually keep our podcast to about an hour. I know I do want to say one last thing. There's an, and I don't know names, and I'm sorry that I know Vernon, you do, but the guys that run the Straight Up TV podcast on YouTube, they do a great job. I have listened to several of those shows. I think Vernon has he's going to be on their show coming up. They talk to a lot. It's a different format than what we do right now. They talk about a few different things, but it's a great show. If you guys ever get a chance to check them out as well, I highly recommend it. It's a little bit of a longer show, but it's super cool to watch. So check them out as well. Those of you who want to get in touch with us, you can do so. Hit us up, billyandbobbyss@gmail.com. You can head over to billyandbobbyss.com is our YouTube page. As a lot of you know, please go over there, hit the subscribe button, and it helps us out to get monetized, and hopefully we can give you guys some better comment. But we're going to leave you on that, and everybody stay on 3 wheels. Some of you who have 4, stay on the 4, keep rubber side down, and we're going to have a great time. So until next time, we'll see you guys super soon.
Thanks,
Later,
buddy. Thanks,
everyone.
Steven.
Peace, brother.
We don't know what music you want to play.
You know what? I can't even. Oh, well, fuck it.
You playing like 20 songs.
I'm playing like 20 songs. I don't know. We're playing both.
He just can't let go of his little song that he came up with.
I can't.